model using custom vision. I'm Chino Ikwuegbu, a Better Students Ambassador, and you can connect with me at Twitter with my username. And my co-host for today is Salim. Salim, please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Salim Oyinlola. I am a better student and ambassador.
Thank you. So our goal for today is to learn about custom vision AI and how to use it to train and test images. So our workshop has three parts. 0, 1, and 2 has install and configure tools, train your model and test your model. That will be taken by Salim. So at any point in time you have a question, please don't feel shy. Don't be shy. Ask the question. Anytime you get confused, just ask the question. So I'm going to talk a little bit about AI before we dive straight into custom vision. And we know that custom vision allows you to build image, classify images or object detection. So you can build an image classification and object detection app with it. So what do you need for this event? What do you need to know about this course? So you need a basic idea of Python. You need Visual Studio Code. You need a knowledge on Git, and then you need to have GitHub desktop on your laptop, and you need Azure subscription. And for students, you can sign up with your student's email to get a free Azure subscription. That's a $100 a Azure credits. I'm going to send the links. I'm going to put them in the chat box later. So these are what you need for this event today. So first, what is artificial intelligence? As we all know, AI. According to Rick Barraza, artificial intelligence is a computer doing things that we would normally think of as intelligent in human. It can be solving a simple question or analyzing stuffs and giving a result. So you can also say artificial intelligence, that's AI. It enables us to build amazing softwares that can help improve healthcare, enable people to overcome physical disadvantages. It can also be used in agriculture to check climate change, and can also be used. It can help. How do you? It can help even save the planet by figuring out endangered species. There is this product Microsoft has seen AI. It's for people with disability. So you just snap a picture with your phone, and then it's going to read out what the picture is. It can be a lady standing up. So you're going to snap the picture and it's going to tell you this is a lady standing up, this is a lady wearing blue. You can take picture of a car or anything. So we can simply say that AI is the creation of softwares that imitate human behaviors and capabilities. So now, for example, we have the human form. So you're going to give it a sensory input. This input can be you hearing me talk now, and then it sends it to your brain. But in terms of AI, it's going to be a model, and this model is gotten from our experience, from so much experience, and then it gives a behavior. The behavior you get out of this input, this sensory input, that's the hearing, you hearing me talk right now. So it can be applied to a robot. So this robot, you feed this data, and the data can be in numbers, in text, and then in images. So instead of the brain, the robot has a model, and this model is built with algorithm. So when you send this, the data is going to go into the model, and the model is going to give an answer. So now we have a cell. So the cell, we send cells. The red indicates disease cell, and while the green indicates healthy cell. So we trained it using algorithms, and then we gave it a fresh new cells, this one, to distinguish or classify the cell into the disease and the non-disease. So this was a new cell, and this the already trained cell we sent. So we gave it a new, gave it new set of cells, new set of cells. And so classified them into the healthy cells and the disease cell. You can see now that there is one disease cell in the healthy cell, and then there's another healthy cell in the diseased cell. This is to show you that no model is 100% correct. At least maybe you can get 80% or so, but no model is 100% correct. No model is perfect. So this gives us, it goes into what questions the AI can answer. There are 5 basic questions AI can answer. And for this particular event, our goal is to classify dogs, breed of dog. So it answers the first question, which category. For the cells we just did, it classifies it into healthy cells or disease cell. So the second question it answers, AI answers is it predicts how much or how many steps do we need to take, giving it a line of best with like putting everything together. So like it gives you a step ahead, like what will you do in future and stuff like that. So the third question is anomaly. It checks and detects error in the model. It's going to check for any unusual activities and stuff like that. So for this particular one, you're going to see a dog in the midst of cats. So it's going to detect the dog out of the cat, out from the cat. So our next question, our fourth question is what's next? So when we think of AI, everyone thinks of chess, maybe playing a chess game against a computer, and we all believe, or maybe we all do believe that computer is meant to outsmart us. A chess, or in terms of video game, but it doesn't work that way. So our last question AI answers is data structure. It groups people together, or maybe you can call it a cluster. And a perfect scenario where you're going to see this kind of clustering is in any e-commerce site. So when you go to the e-commerce site, maybe you bought a set of shoes today. So when you go back there the next day, it's going to tell you that customers who bought this set of shoes also bought this set of clothes. The same thing applies when you're taking an online course. It tells you customers who took Python in this course also will love to take SQL on the next course. So we know that everything is all enabled by machine learning. That's training our model. You end up asking, so what's the difference between AI and machine learning? So all I can tell you is that machine learning is a subset of AI. So I'm going to personally, I'm thinking machine learning is the building block of artificial intelligence, AI, because I believe if you don't train a model, how are we going to get into AI? So when you come down, you see the machine learning, you see neural networks, and you see deep learning. So for today's topic, as I said before, today's event and goal, we're going to classify different breeds of dog. That's the one Salim is going to take us all about. And we're going to use custom vision. So custom vision is part of the Azure Cognitive Services. And as I previously said, we can use it for image detection or object detection and classification. So our main aim for today is image classification. And it's part of the custom vision, yes, is an area of artificial intelligence. So we're going to feed in pictures. We're going to build our models by feeding in pictures. So for these custom visions, we have 3 steps we're going to take. The first step is to upload and label our images. So we're going to send different pictures of dog, and then we'll label it. And the next step, we're going to train the model. And after that, we are going to evaluate the result. So after evaluating results, we can go back to retrain the model, send more pictures, upload more pictures, and continue training the models. Thank you so much. So we're going to dive straight into the practical aspects, creating a custom vision model. Salim, over to you.
Thank you very much, Chino. Thank you very much. So, let me share my screen first. Wait a minute. Can you let me know when you can see my screen, okay? Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Thank you.
I can see it. Okay, yes, I can see it.
Okay, so I'll just walk us through this. I think this is where awesome. I think Chino stopped right about here. She talked about the 3 steps to building your own custom vision. So for us to practice that, like basically for us to practice that, we're going to be taking this exercise. And our goal with this exercise basically is to create a model such that okay, we all know, I think a handful of us are like quite familiar with dogs and the breeds and all that. So basically, we're trying to build a model such that the model can see a dog, and by looking at the dog, it can tell you that okay, this dog is under so and so breed, basically. And we're going to be using custom vision model, which is one of the Microsoft Azure Cognitive Services for this session. And quite frankly, using working through machine learning with this model is very easy because okay, a little thing now, like 3, 4, 5 years ago, machine learning used to be very, very stressful in the sense that perhaps if I wanted to build a linear regression model, I'll have to write the entire mathematics behind it using MATLAB or perhaps Octave. And then a few years later, we had the era of, and I think we're still in that era. Yeah, that's the era of sklearn where you just have to import it and then you move on. But with Microsoft Azure custom model, it's even easier than that. I mean, if you're conversant with machine learning and you've done sklearn and see how strenuous training a model can be, then I would like you to compare with what we're about to do now. Like you see how seamless it's going to be, right? So just to buttress the points Chino has raised earlier on. No model is perfect, like you said, and we're going to see that in the model we built today. Do not expect our model today, as with any other model, do not expect it to have 100% accuracy. That's I'll say impossible. Yeah, it's not possible. You can't have a model that's 100% accurate. Okay, and then the model indicates the probability indicates how correct the model believes the answer is. So by the time we're done with our session today, basically what we're going to see is that the model will see an image of a dog, rather. And when it sees the image, it's going to be able to tell you to a certain degree of accuracy, to a certain degree of probability that okay, perhaps I'm 90 something percent sure that this is this breed. Okay, so basically, it's not going to tell you for a fact that it's this breed, but you're going to see how high the percentage of accuracy will be. All right. So all models represent a closed universe. This implies that your model will always try to match the images to what you know. And then there will always be some level of uncertainty, like I stated earlier on. So after the model is trained, you make your predictions to determine which classification matches the image. And I think Chino already talked on these steps. So I will go straight up into the into working with the model itself. So first of all, I think it would be great if we all have a laptop with us so we can like walk through these parts together. All right. Okay, so the very first thing to do is to navigate to Microsoft's GitHub page, and one of the repositories there is called the workshop library. That's the very first thing you will do. And then this green, you can all see my screen, right? Chino, can you see my screen?
Yes, you can see it. Oh, I can
Awesome.
see it.
All right, then I guess everyone else can see then. All right, so we're going to be using this use this templates icon right here. And let me record you that for me to be able to do this, I must have created a GitHub account. So the very first thing you should do, perhaps if you do not have a GitHub account, is to create a GitHub account. As a developer, the importance of having a GitHub account can't be overemphasized, quite frankly. It's quite easy. I think github.com should lead you to a sign up page regularly. Then you join GitHub. So perhaps I'll link the page
Can
on
you
the.
send the link? Yes,
Okay, I'll do
please.
that. I think just github.com should take you straight up the registration page. Hold on a minute. All right. I think. I think I've sent it. Yeah, I have. So that's the page for you to register on GitHub. So as I was saying, on clicking the templates, the use templates icon, it brought me here, and here's my GitHub my GitHub profile. So my GitHub name rather, Salim codes, and then I'll be creating a repository under the name workshop library. I'll use an underscore instead. Okay. Description, it's optional. I'll skip that for now. I'll leave it as public, and I'll create a repository from templates. Basically, what this does is that it's almost similar to cloning a repository. Oh, I'm sorry, to forking a repository. Yeah. So it creates from this repository, the Microsoft Workshop repository. I'm able to create a copy of that repository. So basically, everything in the Microsoft repository is forked straight up to my own profile, such that I can then edit it and make changes on it. All right. So that's the very first thing we do. So we've navigated to github.com and we've used the templates. We've created a library. Now create a repository from the templates. We have done that. And then the next thing for us is now to clone that locally, because for us to work, we have to have the copy of this repository locally on my PC, right? So I'll navigate to my Visual Studio Code, which I think we should all have. But I'll also send a link for us to create, for us to download Visual Studio. I think, Chino, you sent that already, no?
I've done that.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so on Visual Studio Code, you'll come down here and you want to open a terminal. Because when you open a terminal, then you can then clone your GitHub repository. And let's open a new terminal. All right, so I'd like us to pay attention to the bottom right corner right here, where I'm toggling the mouse around. So the terminal is coming up. To give it a minute or two. So while it's coming up, what you want to do is you want to come to the code, the green icon here, click on code, and you want to copy this link. That's the link that it links, basically the link links to the repository you created, the one you've created in your own repository. If you notice here, it says Salim codes / workshop library, and it was generated from Microsoft's / workshop library. So it's now a copy of the it's now a copy that's on my repository. It's now a repository in my own GitHub account, right? So I'll have to copy this, and I'll come here and I'll write GitHub clone, and then I'll copy and paste the link I copied just about now, and I'll have it here, and that should start. Now you can now see that it's saying cloning into workshop library, right? So now it's now cloning, and it will take a couple of minutes. So while that's going on there, let's go to the next step. So now we've cloned, and the next thing we want to do is once it's done cloning, we're going to try to change directory, but that's after it's done cloning. You can skip that for now. Now the next thing we have to do is now go to Microsoft Azure. Okay, so the Azure portal. Let's go to the Azure portal. Down there it is. Okay. Okay, yeah. So now this is the Microsoft Azure portal. And because I've been logged in here for I've been using Azure for a while now, it has automatically signed me in here. However, and it's signed into my student ambassador accounts. However, as a student, Microsoft offers you something called Azure for Students, and they are offered, I think Chino mentioned it, he offered $100 in credits already.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So and I think each school has a student's email address. I can speak for students of University of Lagos. You have something like a matric number at live.unilag.edu.ng, and basically you can then get to start using Azure. So now that we're here, what we want to do is we want to create a resource. And we'll be using the custom vision. So I search for that. I'm going to leave the Visual Studio Code to keep cloning the repository from last time, and we'll keep on doing this. Hopefully, by the time we're done with what we're trying to do, both of them will be done, and then you can juxtapose them. So custom vision, yeah, you click on this. All right, so hold on a minute. So then we create, because we want to create a resource under custom vision. Not that if you have any question, don't be shy. Feel free to ask on the chat box, okay? All right. So now I'll walk you through the options that to pick here. First thing, you want to create an option. We're going to have both, because not only are we going to be training our model, we would also like to predict with the model. Now let me explain machine learning in layman's terms, because I think that will be helpful going forward. Basically, what machine learning does is you're teaching a computer the way it teaches a child. Now, how does a child learn? Basically, as a kid, yeah, if a child touches, let's say something hot, that's how we learn. So let's say it touches something on it, then it didn't hurt him. The child knows next time not to touch it. All right, so we learn by, I would say, trial and error. I don't think that would do justice to it. But like basically, you just like you feed it data, like things based on experience. I think that's the word, yeah. So based on the things you've experienced, so that's what we're going to be doing here as well. We're going to be training the computer, or the should I say the model. We'll train it based on the data we have. That's the quote unquote experience. And then after this experience, can now tell you that okay, now that you've seen this, what can you say about this? So now that you've seen this part is the training part, and then the part where you say that what can you say about this, that's the prediction part. In this session, I'm going to be doing both of them. Okay, so that's why I had both written here. Then the subscription, my subscription is a Visual Studio subscription. If you were to use your student's account, you should have something like Azure for Students subscription here. Right? There's no difference. The only difference is just that we have different things. Now the resource name should be custom vision. I've played around this for a while. That's why I have custom vision under the options here. But normally on your own end, you're going to have to create a new one and have custom vision there, right? And then a training resource and now the region. What you want to do is you want to pick a region really close to where you are. I'm currently in Lagos, Nigeria, so I think of these locations, I would like to think Western Europe should be the closest to me. I mean, even my geography, I hope my geography is not so bad, but I think it's Western Europe, yeah. And then the name. Now, of everything you're going to be filling here, this name should be unique to you. So I've tried a couple of iterations. So let's have custom vision Salim. Okay. Okay, oh, it has been used. Interesting. And let's have Salim Oyinlola. I think that works fine. And then we move to the next one. So the training pricing tier, we have standard. Okay, and prediction also have standard. What you want to do next is review and create. Okay. Hold on, let me check the chat box if there are any questions. Okay, none. Please, like I said earlier on, if you have any questions, be sure to call my attention to them, okay? Right. So I think that's all. We're done with the Azure page. The next thing for us to do now is to navigate to the because basically what we just did now, the main thing we're trying to do is to create two keys, a training key and a prediction key. So back in the Azure page, it tells me already that the validation has been passed. And okay, I think we're done. Yeah, we'll be able to create model. I think so, yeah. So next thing we want to do is navigate to the custom vision page. And should have it here. That'll take a while. So the custom vision page is a bit different from the Azure page, okay? So now we are trying to navigate to the custom vision page itself. Okay, here we have it. It's coming up. Just knew it. Just knew it. Just knew it. All right, so now I tried this model here earlier on. So let's create a new model. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is you want to write a project name. So let's call it dog classification. It will regularly be dog classification, but I created one earlier. So I have dog classification too. The description is a bit, it's not required to the file, so I'll leave that blank. And we'll have the resource that was created earlier on, we'll have it here already. Now the project type is, it's a classification model type. It's a classification project type. And the classification type is multi-class because we're going to have different classes. And by those classes, I'm going to have to then divide them into different, I'm going to have a picture and then I'm going to just divide them into different classes. That's what they mean by multi-class. Every other option should be left in default. So you should leave this in general A2, and then you create a model. Your projects further. All right. So now, I think when I talked about machine learning earlier, when I said you have to first of all train the model. Having trained the model, the next thing you want to do is then test the model and all that. So this part is the training the model part. So hold on. Okay. So us downloading this was for us to have the images, but it's taking a bit longer than I thought. I knew it would take this longer actually. But luckily I'd worked on this before. I'd like tried it on my own. So we still have images we can train the laptop with. I'm saying a lot of big things. I think to become clearer after this next thing. This is the training phase, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically navigate to the part, like when I clone this repository, what I want to do is you want to navigate to the part of the repository locally. That's what you want to do here. So you probably have to look for where you saved it. So I had mine right here, workshop library. This is why I cloned it, okay? So then I come in here, and I think it was under full. Yeah, under full, then you're going to have to look for custom visions somewhere here. The ML model custom vision, you come here, and then the training images is what you're interested in. Up or following, I feel like I was a bit too fast with that last part. So let me just go over it once again. What I'm doing basically is I need to train the model with pictures of dog already. So based on those pictures, I can then take the next step. So this is the training phase where you let the computer know based on experience. Okay. So that's how I'm going to navigate to the training images folder. And now here we have like a couple of images of dogs that are labeled. Labeled in the sense that it knows that okay, this picture, this is the breed of the dog. Okay, this is this, that is this. So the first 8 pictures are of the breed American Stanford Terrier. Okay, and we're going to have those 8. I'm going to upload them. So now we're going to upload them, and I want to, after uploading them, you want to tag them because the computer is just saying 8 images. It needs to know what it is, what they are rather. So I'm not very good with the spelling of this. So I think it's something like this. American Staffordshire. Okay, I think this is it. I like to think so. So then we upload the ACE files. It will take a while. All right, so now we're done. Okay, it says 8 images successfully uploaded. Then the next set, you also want to upload another set of images. Then upload this Australian Shepherd. How come I've never heard about this? Australian Shepherd. And you upload all 8 images, and then of course you have to tag the images for the lab, for the computer to know what they are. All right, up next, then let's, if you notice here, we have 2 tags already. We have the American Stratfordshire Terrier, and then we have the Australian Shepherd already. So then the next one, we have the Bogu. So we have 8 samples of those. And then we're done. And I think there are 5 models. I think there are 5 types of dogs in here. So the next ones are the German wired edge pointers. Open. Wired edge. And let's upload the last one. Last ones are the shocking. I think that's shocking. And so basically we see that like what we're doing is really, really, I mean, if you compare this to what you do with using CV, open CV with Jupyter Notebook and all that, this is like, this is relatively cake compared to that. Like, and obviously as technologists, as software developers, we really want the easier method. And I really can't think of an easier method than what we have here with custom vision using Azure. Okay, I'm having an issue here. This is taking a while. Okay. Okay. And then we have to tag this ones as well. I think we said it's Shocky. And now I think we've been able to upload all let's wait for this to finish uploading. And then once we're done with that, I think we can take the next step then. I think yes. So now we're able to upload all okay. So now what we've done basically is for all of the 5 different types of dogs, we've been able to upload at least 8 pictures. So we have 8 pictures of Shockies, we have 8 pictures of Boggles, we have 8 pictures of the Australian Shepherd and the 2 other ones. So basically now that we're able to train. Now back to our baby analogy. The system now knows that okay, this dog is this. I've told you that okay, this is this, that is that. Now let's train it. So we want to have a quick training. Since the estimated budget is 1 hour by Towser to take that long. Let's hope it doesn't take that long. It shouldn't take that long. That's a word. All that's going on, let's check in on the Okay, yeah, this is done actually. Awesome. So we want to change the directory to workshop library, isn't it? And this is already at iteration 1. I tried it earlier today and it took about 4 to 5 minutes. So while that's being trained, do we have any questions? Anyone? Please be sure. You can't tell me you have any question up to this point. Anyone has any question, please let me know. I mean, at least respond with no question. I mean, it feels like I'm talking to myself. Hello, can you all hear me?
No question.
Thank you, Samuel. Anyone else? Josiah, do you have any question?
Yeah, I do.
I
I don't know. I'm stuck in the Azure part, like creating the.
Probably you should have called me back.
I could not chat.
Account?
I don't know. The chat is not available here. I don't know. He said I must join the team members.
I didn't get that. Yeah, what?
Like I could not chat. I would have like sent a message.
That's fine. So what's the problem with the Azure page?
Like I can't create this stuff. No, I've logged in.
Yeah.
I can't create what is it called? I can't create the parade. I'm not seeing multi-class and the rest.
Not seeing multi-class.
Yes.
Multi-class. Okay. You're still in the Azure page. You've not gone to custom visions page.
No, I'm in the custom visions page. I mean.
Now in the custom vision. Oh, so you've not has it seen the resource? You can't see the resource you created exactly. Okay, that's a common problem. I think you have to give it a couple of minutes. I also I had that problem as well. But if you give it a couple of minutes, it will come up. I'm glad you're following actually. Thank you very much. Did anyone else experience that problem? Anyone else? So Josiah, just give it a couple of minutes, okay? It will come up. All right. So any other questions, perhaps not even just general machine learning questions anyone would like to raise, I think I'll be willing to answer that right about now. While you wait for a model to get trained and all that. Training shouldn't take longer any much, right? It should be good in a couple of minutes. But Josiah, can you hear me? Josiah, you there? Is Josiah there, please? I doubt he's still here with us. Basically, I want to know, like, anyone, have you had issues in terms of creating our student accounts with Azure? Because I feel like that might give us a couple of challenges. I'm glad Josiah was able to maneuver his way around that. Any other person had issues with that? Creating or activating, let me put it as activating your student account with Azure. Okay, I'll take that as a no. I'll take that as a no. So while we wait for, it should be done anytime soon. Should be done anytime soon. So basically, what we also notice is that thus far, I've done, I mean, if you were to do all this in Jupyter Notebook, would have written, I mean, we know that we have written a considerable number of lines of codes. But with this, we've done a lot without writing. I mean, the most technical thing in terms of code we've done is perhaps changing direction on our terminal yet. Like we've not really had to do much in terms of coding. And that's, I mean, that's one of the, I would say one of the advantages that comes with using activation. Josiah steps out. I'll say that's one of the advantages that comes with using custom vision on Microsoft Azure. So Josiah, I asked a question when you were not around. I wanted to know how easy it was for you to maneuver your way around creating a student account with Microsoft Azure.
Yeah, it's not difficult. I
Was
used
it?
yeah, I used my student the email created,
All
the
right.
live.library.
Okay. Thank you very much. I also like to confirm. And you'll be able to get your $100 credits, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, that's awesome. Thank you very much. I think it's taking a bit longer than I expected. Let's just keep waiting. I think any time from now should be done. I strongly disagree with the fact that no one has a question at this point, actually. You really mean to tell me that I've been super, I would say, like, I've been really good in my explanations. No one has any question.
I have a question.
I'm listening to that.
Why do machine learning people like saying strongly disagree?
Yeah, for you. I
Is
mean,
this the second time I'm hearing it?
wow. Which you've had another machine learning expert talk about, like, say the word, the phrase, strongly disagree.
Yeah, yesterday, last night.
I strongly people, I guess. I guess.
You say, oh,
I
so
think we
you,
are strong-headed people, I guess. We strongly
uh,
disagree with things, yeah.
mm, okay.
What do you do yourself? I'm pretty sure there's a phrase associated with whatever you do.
Nah, probably not. I
Yeah?
just do the front end. We don't say anything. We're just
Yeah, that
normal.
crap. Oh, so we are the abnormal ones.
Yeah, you guys are the abnormal ones.
Nah, you not. Basically, I guess I think the most appropriate answer is because we're really strong-headed people. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's done. I'm sorry to interrupt. But yeah, the iteration is done, and then we can see it says the precision is 100%, the recall is 100%, and the last one is AP. It also says they're all 100%. So now, what we'll be able to do now is we'll be able to train our model. But training is not what we're like, okay, now it has learned it. But then for us to know how good it has learned it with, we have to be able to test it with our own new set of pictures. So what we want to do first of all is publish the model. Okay, situation one. Show the source. Let's have it. Yes, let's publish. So we've published it because now we see on publish here. So the model has been published. And the next thing we want to do is we want to hold on. I think I made a mistake. Oh, we want to come to prediction URL here. And hold on. I'm sorry, just give me a minute. Okay, yeah, now let's try to test our model. Sorry about that. A quick test. English will be the last portion of the session. It's pretty much easy and no code. So basically, what we want to do now is that we've trained the model. It has seen dog pictures and it has told us, okay, this is this, that is this, right? The next thing we want to do now is that based on the things we've told the model, we want to now bring a new set of examples it has not seen before. That okay, well, now that we've told you this, this, and that, the same way you tell a child, okay, this is this, that is this, you don't do this, you don't do that. Then you now give it perhaps an examination. So this is the part where we give our model an examination. And I won't test it with some pictures that I've seen before because that would be, I mean, when you do examinations in school, no one gives you the examples you'll be given in class. They bring a new set of questions. So rather than having using the training images we used here, we'll be using the testing images, okay? So we have some set of images and we're going to be testing them. So I'll pick one at random. I think I like this German wired pointer. I like the way it looks. Let's have this here. The test image should come up here. Okay, it's taking a while. It's coming up. Okay. Yeah, look at this. Interesting. So the guy is telling us with a 99% probability that, okay, for this picture I've just uploaded, it's now telling me that, hold on. Let's come down. Okay, yeah, awesome. So it's telling me that there's a 99% probability. I hope you can still see it though, because I made it smaller. But it's telling us that there's a 99% probability that this picture I just uploaded is a German wired head pointer. I mean, I just said 100 if it's going to tell us 000, yeah. So it's telling us there's a 0% chance is an Australian Shepherd. 0% chance it's an American Staffordshire Terrier. There's a 0% chance it's a Bogu and likewise Shocker. So let's try another one. Let's try a Shocker this time. And let's see what it says. Okay, we see. Oh, I'd like to say I think it's adorable. So interesting. And here we have a 99.8% probability that it's a shock you. A 0% probability it's an American structural American. I keep messing this pronunciation up. It's telling us there's a 0% chance it's an American Staffordshire Terrier. I think that should be the correct pronunciation. It's telling us there's a 0% chance on Australian Shepherd. A 0% chance it's a German wired pointer, and same goes with Bogu. Let me try two more, and we'll call it a wrap with today's session. Let's try this American friend of ours. Okay. Hey. Okay, yeah, I like this better. So now this doesn't have the kind of accuracy the previous examples had. This one, rather than telling us 99.8 or 99.9, it can only tell us that, okay, with the 96.8%, which is very, very reasonable, there's a 96.8% chance that this guy right here is of the breed American Staffordshire Terrier, a 1.5% chance that it's a German wired head pointer, a 1% chance an Australian Shepherd, and 0.4% chance that it's a Bogu. So let's try one last one. Which one would you have? Which one should I pick, guys? Let me let you guys pick this one. I think we've had one of these, and one of these. Can you all hear me? I want someone to let me pick one. Chino, will you?
The one with the ball.
Oh yeah. I'm assuming it's this.
Yes.
What's this? All right, so it's training. So this model, it's somewhere in between there. It can't tell us, unlike the other ones where it was able to tell us with. I mean, when you get 96%, that was very, very good. This one's only telling us with the 50. So it's somewhere in between Australian Shepherd and German wired pointers. And it's still, although it's still towards the Australian Shepherd, but I think it's still somewhere in between there, okay? So it says there's a 55.9% chance it's an Australian Shepherd, a 39.2% chance it's a German wired head pointer, a 4.2% chance an American, this pronunciation keeps getting me. Chino, what do you think I should pronounce that? Because I think it should be American Staffordshire Terrier, and 0.5% chance it's a Bogu, and it's telling us, although I'm a bit unsure about the remaining four, I'm certain like it's not a shock you. So that about that. I think with this session, yeah, we've been able to see the evolution of machine learning from what it used to be in perhaps 2012, 2013 with MATLAB, where you have to write, hundreds to thousands of lines of codes, which has then evolved to 3-4 lines of code with Python using sklearn and the rest. That has even evolved to writing absolutely no code, because this model I just built right now with images I got, I mean, it works pretty good. I mean, this level, I mean, barring the last one, which alludes to what Chino talked about with the fact that no model can be 100% accurate, yeah? So barring this one, we can see that the model has done reasonably well. And I usually wrote no line of code. The most technical line of code I wrote was cloning the repository, which was only because I wanted to get the pictures. Okay, so I think that's that about that. So Chino, perhaps up to you now. Let me stop sharing my screen.
Okay, thank you so much, Salim. Please, I sent a link. Please, everyone, go ahead and fill it. Just help me fill it. It's a survey, actually. Just click on the link and open it. So the first question is your workshop instructor name, Salim and Chino. Then the second question is your workshop title. Title is building.
I'll following. Hold on.
I think, should I copy it? Okay, building a machine learning model using custom vision. That's the workshop title. So today's date, then you rate the workshop experience and what did you enjoy most in this workshop and what did you enjoy least in this workshop and what you've learned so far, which technologies you've learned in this workshop and any other thing you would love to add as feedback. Please don't forget to fill it up. And if you want to learn more about object detection and creating custom models with TensorFlow, I'll send the link now to the chat, and then you can go ahead and learn more about it. Thank you so much. Please, if you have any question, now is the time you can ask. Don't forget to fill the survey.
Okay, I have a question.
I'm listening, Josiah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Sorry, can you send the link or just display the link? I can't see anything in the chat box.
Are you using a phone or a laptop?
I'm using a laptop.
How will I put it? Minimize the screen. Your chat is there. How will I say minimize? Can you minimize it?
Okay. Yeah, I minimize.
You're meant to see your chat. The chat is there.
I can see the chat, but like it's just locked. It's kind of locked.
Really?
Yeah, the chat.
Anyone else experiencing this?
It said it's only available to team members. I don't know what that is.
Wow. Okay.
He also asked, I think Ashish is also experiencing that. He has his hands up, or perhaps he wants to ask a question. Is everyone experiencing this?
Ashi, please unmute yourself and talk. Just unmute yourself and talk.
Yes, I'm facing the same problem.
You're experiencing the same problem. Wow, that's interesting.
Wow.
I think it's because of like we have the guests, we have a guest login, so maybe because of that.
Okay. Okay. So how do we go about that now? That's from the charts. Please, has any other person, has everyone filled the form, the survey?
I don't think, would they be able to see the form based on the fact that, based on what Ashish and Josiah just raised?
No, others can. Others can. So how do we get across? You can't see the chat box.
Wow, that's interesting.
Like it's blurred out.
What kind of issue is this? Nachi, please, any help?
Actually.
How do we resolve this?
Wait. What's wrong?
They can't see the chat box.
Oh, you can't see the chat box because you're not part of the organization hosting the meeting.
Okay.
The person is a guest, right?
Yes, Yoshi is a guest.
All right then. How can we get like the forms across to them?
Yes.
Ooh. Okay, share your screen and put a shortened link on the screen so they can see it and
Okay.
navigate.
All right. Then.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay,
we
let
do
me
that.
share my screen then.
Thank you.
Yes, sure. Okay, so this is the survey.
Hello.
Can you see it? Can you guys see it?
Oh, yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes, I can see.
Yes,
You
yes,
just
I see.
type that. Yes, so please type that out in your Chrome and then you can fill it. Thank you so much. And then the next one is to learn more about object detection and creating custom models with TensorFlow.
So I have a question. It's for Salim.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, yes. After creating the model now and training the model, can we get the code for the model? Can we like download the code from?
Code for the model. Code for the model. There should be a way to do that actually. There should be a way to do that for the model. I actually think it should be a way to do that. Okay. Oh, there should be a link. Just give me a minute or two. I won't call it a link per se. But what you can do basically is you can integrate the key you just created, the way you created it online out here, you can integrate it such that you can like work with it on your regular terminal using Visual Studio Code basically. So you're going to like get an SDK, a software development kit from this online platform from Custom Vision, and then you can then integrate that. So I would send a link that explains that much better to you. And if you have any questions, perhaps you can reach out to me personally. I'll send the link.
Okay, thank you.
Perhaps can I get your email address or something? Something because I can't, since you can't see the screen. If you don't mind sharing it.
I can't send a message because I can't see the chat box. But I know your Twitter, so I'll just message you on Twitter or LinkedIn.
All right, that'll be great. Thank you very much.
Salim, I thought the SDK on the template, the workshop template, I thought it's there, every step.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I guess that's the end of the session.
Yes, please. Thank you all for turning up. Hope you had an awesome event. We hope to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you for this session. Great session. I think next time onwards, maybe you could all. I think you organized it in the channel, right?
Yes.
The ambassador account. Yeah, that's the reason I guess they aren't able to see the chat option. Maybe you can just not select the channel next time onwards. Then the chat will be available even to the external users.
Okay, so I guess creating it on my own calendar will give people access to view the chat, right?
Maybe on the ambassador account itself, but don't select the channel name. That's all. Just leave it blank.
Wow, I had no idea. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
No, good session.
Bye, everyone.
Right,
Thank
bye,
you, Tina.
Yeah, bye.
No
Thank you.
issues. Thank you. Bye.